A destitute girl offered her sandwich to a millionaire posing as a beggar. 3 days later, a man in a suit stood at her door, his presence heavy with unspoken truths. Share your first name and location in the comments. Now, let go and immerse yourself in the tale. In a dilapidated riverside apartment, where paint flaked like dying leaves, and the elevator was temperamental, 7-year-old Sophia Thompson sat on her bedroom floor, cross-legged and lost in thought. Her tiny fingers meticulously brought another picture to life, adding a splash of color to their humble home. The evening light spilled through the window, casting shadows that danced with the swirling dust, each particle a fleeting moment in time. Sophia, dinner's ready. Olivia's voice echoed from the cramped kitchen. Sophia glanced up, a smile breaking across her face, her eyes shimmering with an ancient wisdom. On my way, Mom. The apartment was tiny, 2 rooms and a bathroom, but it radiated warmth and affection. Sophia's vibrant drawings adorned the walls, masking imperfections and turning the modest room into a sanctuary of youthful dreams and endless hope. Olivia Thompson, clad in her hospital scrubs from the morning shift, placed 2 mismatched plates on the unsteady table. Her tired eyes sparkled as her daughter burst in, a warm smile breaking through the fatigue. Mac and cheese again? Sophia climbed onto her chair, determination in her eyes. With intensity. Cheese, just how you like it, Olivia whispered, her fingers brushing a strand of hair behind her daughter's ear. I need to return for the night shift at Memorial in just an hour. Mrs. Grayson from 3B will stop by to see you before you sleep. Sophia nodded, a weight in her gaze. This had become their life. Ever since Sophia's father left, disappearing without a trace when she was just a baby, Olivia toiled endlessly, juggling double shifts at 2 hospitals, fighting to secure a home and provide for her family. I made you something today, Sophia said, her voice thick with pasta. With trembling hands, she retrieved a crumpled paper heart, its surface shimmering with glitter and tender sketches. Your work locker awaits. Just know you're on my mind. Caring for the ill is a heavy burden, filled with heartache and hope. Olivia's eyes sparkled with emotion as she took the gift. It's breathtaking, my love. Her voice trembled, barely holding together. Do you realize your heart is the largest I've ever encountered? You always say that, Mom, Sophia laughed, her eyes sparkling. It's undeniable. Olivia's fingers wrapped around her daughter's tiny hand, a silent promise in the grip. Swear to me, no matter the storms ahead, you'll hold on to that kindness. I promise, Sophia said, her voice steady, though the depth of her mother's words eluded her. As Sophia readied for sleep, Olivia knelt beside her, wrapping the faded yet fresh blankets snugly around her. Her delicate silhouette. Tomorrow will change everything, Olivia whispered, her eyes sparkling with secrets. Why must it be this way? Is it time to celebrate? Sophia inquired, her eyes sparkling with intrigue. No, nothing at all. Olivia's smile ignited a spark. It's an instinct, a whisper in my soul. Ordinary days can shift the course of our lives forever. Neither of them realized the weight those words would carry. The following morning, a fateful meeting on Sophia's way to school ignited a chain of events that would change their lives forever. October's morning bit at Sophia's ears, turning them pink as she hurried down the apartment steps. Her breath created fleeting clouds that vanished into the biting air. Her small backpack held school supplies and a sandwich wrapped with care. Peanut butter, sliced at an angle just the way she loved it. Her mother had made it, then fell into bed, exhausted from the night shift. Goodbye, Mrs. Grayson, Sophia shouted, her voice echoing with a mix of warmth and urgency as she waved to their elderly neighbor who had spent the night. Grateful for the braids, the old woman waved from the doorway, her gnarled fingers resembling brittle winter branches. Stay safe, little one, and watch for the signals. Sophia dashed down the well-worn path to Riverside Elementary, her heart racing as she hummed a melody from music class. The city stirred, a heartbeat in the dawn. Shop owners, hearts racing, unlocked their doors. Office workers gripped their travel mugs, each step weighed down by the familiar dread of Monday morning. At the bus stop by Maple Street, something unexpected seized her attention. A man crouched on the ground, his back pressed against the bench, avoiding its seat. His clothes hung in tatters, a desperate shield against the biting cold. his gray beard wild and unkempt. What captivated Sophia were his eyes, a piercing blue that revealed deep sorrow and an unexpected sharpness. Sophia's steps faltered, her grip on the backpack straps tightening. Her mother had cautioned her, never speak to strangers, especially in the city. Yet, there was an undeniable quality to this man. He exuded weariness and sorrow, not menace. As she neared, the man caught her gaze, then averted his eyes, shame washing over him. Sophia watched as he buried his cold, red hands deeper into the frayed pockets of his coat. "Good morning," she whispered, pausing just out of reach. The man looked taken aback by the sudden address. "Morning," he said, his voice a rough whisper, yet tender. Sophia swayed, a fierce certainty igniting within her heart. "Are you starving, sir?" The question lingered, heavy and charged. The man's piercing blue eyes searched her face, filled not with suspicion but with awe. Yes," he finally confessed, his worn features easing into vulnerability. Sophia swiftly unzipped her backpack, her heart racing as she revealed the sandwich within. She held it out, a silent invitation, her eyes searching his. "It's everything. Golden spread. She did it, against all odds. As a nurse, she insists that protein is vital for enduring the harsh cold." He hesitated, the moment stretching, heavy with unspoken weight. "Isn't that your lunch?" Sophia nodded, her grip on the sandwich unwavering. "It's fine. Mondays bring the warmth of hot lunch. Spaghetti day." Her smile was a lifeline. "Mrs. Abernathy insists we must share whenever possible." With trembling fingers, the man grasped her offering, the weight of the moment heavy in the air. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice trembling. To Sophia's shock, she watched as tears glistened in his eyes. "Any time. I wish you a wonderful day," she said, her voice bright with warmth. She turned away, heading to school, oblivious to the gaze of Edward Reynolds, a man worth over $11 billion, lurking in the shadows. Edward unwrapped the sandwich, each movement deliberate, as if cradling a treasure. As Sophia vanished from sight, he murmured, "When was the last time someone gazed at me without an agenda?" Sophia burst into Riverside Elementary, the first bell echoing her arrival. Classmates darted across the playground, laughter echoing in the air. Racing against time, every heartbeat counts as they prepare to line up. Mrs. Abernathy, a round figure with salt and pepper hair neatly pinned up, lingered at the entrance, clipboard in hand. "Morning, Sophia." Mrs. Abernathy's smile radiated warmth, igniting a flicker of hope. "Are you prepared for our history project today?" Sophia's eyes sparkled with fervor. "Absolutely, ma'am. Last night I completed my drawing of the Liberty Bell." As the children entered the classroom, a soft growl echoed from Sophia's stomach. She realized, too late, that tomorrow's hot lunch was not today. Yet she felt no remorse for parting with her sandwich. The man's eyes sparkled with deep gratitude. It was worth the ache. Across town, Edward Reynolds sat still on the bus stop bench, the crumpled sandwich wrapper tucked away in his pocket. For 3 weeks he shed his designer clothes and security, diving into the raw, unseen world of the invisible. What began as research for his foundation transformed into something deeply significant. People turned away, dropped coins without a glance, even crossed the street to escape him. Then this child, extraordinary in spirit, approached him with grace and warmth, recognizing him as someone deserving of connection. Edward grasped the burner phone, his fingers trembling as he dialed. "James, it's me. I'm here. Please conduct some research." He painted a vivid picture of Sophia and the path she had chosen. "Uncover every detail about her, her family, and James. Make it your top priority." Sophia endured her morning classes, thoughts drifting to the blue-eyed man who haunted her mind. During lunch, Lily caught sight of her friend's empty hands. "Sophia, where's your lunch?" Sophia shrugged, a flicker of defiance in her eyes. "I let it slip through my fingers. Gave it all up. To whom?" A man, gaunt and hollow-eyed, radiated desperation. Lily scrunched her nose, a flicker of disdain crossing her face. "Are you referring to someone without a home?" "My dad believes we mustn't support them." Sophia's heart raced at the sharpness in her friend's voice. "He remains human, Lily. My mom believes that kindness is a right for all." Before Lily could utter a word, Mrs. Abernathy closed in on their table. Sophia, darling, did you forget your lunch today? Sophia's nod was hesitant, heavy with unspoken thoughts. Come with me, Mrs. Abernathy said softly, guiding her to the teacher's lounge. There, she revealed half a turkey sandwich from her own lunch bag. Take this. I can't accept your lunch, Mrs. Abernathy. The teacher's smile flickered, a brief spark of warmth in the cold room. You're not having it. I'm passing it along, just as you did with yours this morning. Sophia's gaze shot up, eyes wide with shock. What gave it away? Lily brought it up. How generous of you, Mrs. Abernathy said, her eyes sparkling behind her glasses. Sophia, even the tiniest gestures can change everything. Your actions could transform someone's day, or their entire life. Sophia bit into the sandwich, unaware of the chilling truth in her teacher's words. Unbeknownst to her, James Harrington, the personal attorney to one of America's richest men, was quietly piecing together the story of a 7-year-old girl and her devoted mother from Riverside. The wheels turned, driven by a humble sandwich and an untainted heart. The next morning unfolded like any other for Sophia. She stirred at 6:30, the soft chime of her mother's old alarm clock, pulling her from dreams. Olivia had just come home from her night shift, slipping into a deep sleep, her nurse's uniform hanging quietly over the chair, ready for the dawn. Sophia crept through the apartment, every step deliberate, as she fixed her breakfast, a bowl of slightly stale cereal, just the right amount of milk. With trembling hands, she assembled her lunch. A lone apple, a juice box from the past, and the final slice of bread, barely clinging to its peanut butter layer. The kitchen was nearly bare, a haunting reminder of the wait until Olivia's paycheck on Friday. Include me. The bus stop loomed, shadows deepening as time stretched. Anticipation hung thick in the air, hearts racing with unspoken farewells. Sophia searched desperately, her heart racing, but the blue-eyed man had vanished. A fleeting disappointment pierced her, its cause a mystery even to herself. She pressed on, her mind racing with the looming spelling test of the day. In the opulent penthouse of the Reynolds Tower, Edward lingered in his office, the city sprawling beneath him through towering glass. The tattered clothes and unkempt beard vanished, giving way to an impeccably tailored suit. But his eyes, those piercing blue eyes, never changed. His gaze locked onto the file his attorney had set before him. Her name is Sophia Thompson. She's 7, James said, his voice heavy with emotion. She shares her life with her mother, Olivia Thompson, 32, a dedicated nurse splitting her time between City General and Memorial Hospital. When Sophia was just a baby, her father vanished. How's the money looking? Edward inquired, his voice low yet powerful. James paused, heart racing, teetering on the edge. The mother toils through double shifts, barely scraping by to keep a roof over their heads in a cramped 2-room apartment in Riverside Heights. The structure teeters on the edge of failure. Edward rose and approached the window. From 52 stories high, the city sprawled below, a tiny world waiting to be touched. Their lives mere whispers, tracing lines set long ago. Deep below, a little girl had glimpsed him, truly recognized him, even when he was merely a shadow among many. The sandwich, he whispered, a world of longing in his voice. Yes? James arched an eyebrow, curiosity igniting within him. That was her one and only lunch, right? James nodded, a weight in his gaze. The financial records strongly suggest that's the case. Edward turned, his expression fierce and resolute. I need to save them, James, yet it was different. Whoa, James. Yeah, it was different. This must be distinct. Why, sir? James asked with a cautious intensity. In 15 years as Edward's attorney, he had seldom witnessed his employer so deeply shaken. Edward's gaze melted. That child gave selflessly, with no thought of reward. She recognized my worth even when I wore a mask of emptiness. He paused, shadows of his childhood poverty flickering to life. Sometimes, James, The universe places someone in your life for a purpose. Sophia lost herself in the library's quiet embrace, a familiar refuge after school, where time slipped away. At a tiny table by the children's section, she focused intently on her homework, heart racing as she awaited her mother's return from work. "And you, Miss Chen?" The librarian watched her with a gentle gaze, a silent agreement that eased the Thompson family's chaotic routine. Pushing through, Ms. Chen set a steaming cup of hot chocolate next to Sophia's worksheets, a silent gesture of support. Sophia's eyes sparkled with gratitude, her smile radiant. "Absolutely, we're diving into fractions." Sophia and her mother never spoke of the sandwich incident, a silence heavy with unspoken tension. To Sophia, helping someone in need felt too ordinary to mention. It was all she knew, a lesson etched deep by her mother. Olivia, drained from relentless shifts, remained unaware that her daughter's simple gesture was on the brink of shattering their fragile existence. On Wednesday evening, Olivia stood by the small stove in their kitchenette, stirring a pot of tomato soup, lost in thought. Dark circles haunted her eyes, a testament to another grueling double shift between hospitals. Sophia perched at the wobbly table, her heart racing as she brought the solar system to life with vibrant colors for her science homework. "Mom, how many moons does Jupiter have?" Sophia inquired, sharp, ready, waiting. Olivia hovered over her paper, a weary smile gracing her lips. "So much, darling. Last I counted, it was at least 67. 67. Sophia's eyes sparkled with awe. "It's as if 67 nightlights blazed together in the dark." Olivia's soft laughter faded as a firm knock shattered their moment. Time stood still for the Thompson women. Visitors are a rare sight, especially during the quiet of weeknights. "Is someone coming?" Sophia breathed her words softly. Olivia shook her head, her hands trembling as she wiped them on a dish towel. "Stay." She peered through the peephole, catching sight of a tall man clad in a sharp suit, his stance rigid and imposing. He seemed too ordinary to be a bill collector. They arrived together, dressed in worn suits that whispered of desperation. He lacked the frantic demeanor of a door-to-door salesman. "Who is it? Tell me now," she shouted through the door, her hand trembling as it grasped for her phone. "James Harrington." "Ma'am," the response was delivered with unwavering respect. "Lawyer representing Edward Reynolds. I need to talk to you and Sophia, if that's all right." Olivia's hand halted, suspended in a moment of dread. "Is this Edward Reynolds?" The name echoed in the depths of memory. Someone vital, she realized. What could his attorney possibly want with them? She moved carefully, unlocking the door but leaving the chain in place, just enough to see if the visitor matched her glimpse through the peephole. "How did you find out my daughter's name?" she commanded, her voice laced with fierce maternal instinct. James nodded, a silent acknowledgement filled with weight. "Your worry is clear, Miss Thompson. My client experienced an extraordinary moment with Sophia. This visit will bring good things, I promise." He slid a business card through the door's narrow gap. Olivia studied the card, its embossed lettering and thick paper whispering secrets of Harrington and Associates Legal. The counsel entwined with Reynolds Enterprises. It seemed real, but doubt gnawed at her resolve. What sort of meeting awaits? "I should lay it all out for you, clearly and completely. Trust me, there's nothing to be afraid of." His tone, both professional and deeply reassuring, pushed Olivia to a choice she couldn't ignore. She unlatched the chain, swung the door wide and stood defiantly in the entrance. James nodded, entering the modest apartment with a reverent grace, as if crossing into a sacred realm rather than a tight living space. His gaze locked onto Sophia, who had forsaken her coloring, peering from behind the kitchen counter with wide, curious eyes. "Hello, Sophia," he murmured, his voice soft yet charged, keeping a careful distance. "Did you share your sandwich with someone not long ago?" A man with blue eyes waits at the bus stop, lost in thought. Sophia's face transformed, fear giving way to astonishment. "Is the hungry man all right?" James smiled, warmth breaking through his cool facade. "He's doing great, all thanks to your kindness." He knelt, meeting her gaze directly. "Mr. Edward Reynolds, my employer was profoundly moved by your small act of kindness." Olivia stepped closer to her daughter, a whirlwind of confusion swirling within her. "I can't grasp this. Who is your employer, and why did he take food from my child?" James stood tall, his gaze locking onto Olivia. "Ms. Thompson, my client is Edward Reynolds, the visionary behind Reynolds Enterprises." He stopped, letting the weight of the revelation sink in. He has come with an incredible proposal for you and Sophia. James Harrington loomed in the Thompsons' modest living room, his height amplifying the suffocating closeness of the space. The bubbling tomato soup on the stove enveloped the apartment in a warm embrace, a stark contrast to the attorney's sleek designer suit and gleaming shoes. "Can I?" He pointed to a lone, mismatched chair at the kitchen table. Olivia nodded, her caution palpable. "Sophia, complete your homework in your room now." "But, Mom," Sophia's voice trembled with defiance. "Sophia needs to hear this too." James spoke up softly. "My client had clear demands." Olivia paused, then surrendered, her hand resting protectively on her daughter's shoulder. "Fine, just be direct. No more legal jargon needed." James sat, his leather briefcase thudding onto the table. 3 days ago, Sophia met my client Edward Reynolds at a bus stop by Maple Street. In that moment, Mr. Reynolds stood, not clad in the expected billionaire attire. "A billionaire?" Olivia's eyes filled with shock. James nodded, a silent agreement heavy with unspoken weight. Mr. Reynolds sometimes engages in what he terms social research. He dons the guise of a homeless man to watch closely. Sophia's eyes lit up, sensing the raw truth beneath his wealth and status. "The man with the piercing blue eyes? He holds immense wealth." "Absolutely, Sophia." "Exactly that," James replied, a soft smile gracing his lips. "Your simple gesture, giving him your only sandwich, changed everything for him." Olivia's face transformed, confusion melting into clarity. "You really gave away your lunch?" she asked Sophia. A shy nod was her only reply. "I wasn't that hungry, anyway," Sophia mumbled, but the loud growl of her stomach betrayed her. James pressed on. "For weeks, Mr. Reynolds has observed the world move around him. Eyes averted, people crossing the street to escape his gaze. Then your daughter approached him, her eyes filled with dignity and genuine kindness, free from pity or disgust. He cracked open his briefcase, pulling out a sealed envelope. "Edward Reynolds, the visionary behind Reynolds Enterprises, commands a vast empire that spans tech innovations and vital healthcare services. He possesses over $11 billion. Olivia's jaw fell open. "Hold on, the Edward Reynolds? The architect of that towering giant in the heart of the city?" "Exactly that," James affirmed. "Beyond his business, he's recognized for his unique approach to giving back." Sophia pulled at her mother's sleeve, desperation in her eyes. "What is philanthropy, Mom?" "It's about giving to those in need, sweetheart," Olivia said, her thoughts racing to catch up with the moment. James locked eyes with Sophia. "Mr. Reynolds felt a profound connection to your kindness, not merely for the sandwich, but for the heartfelt intention behind it. You recognized his worth, even when he seemed to have nothing to give back." He faced Olivia, his gaze heavy with meaning. "My client sees a rare compassion in your daughter, a gift that deserves to be cherished and celebrated." "We don't need charity," Olivia said, her voice firm, pride lifting her weary frame. "Mr. Reynolds isn't extending a hand, Ms. Thompson. He extends a chance." James pushed the envelope forward, a silent weight hanging in the air. He dreams of creating a complete educational trust for Sophia, ensuring her journey from private school to university is secure. Olivia's hand shook violently as she grasped the envelope. James pressed on, revealing an offer. "Head nurse coordinator at the Reynolds Medical Foundation, where you'd lead nursing staff and shape protocols across our hospitals. The salary could be nearly 3 times what you currently earn, with steady hours and full benefits." A heavy silence enveloped the apartment. Sophia felt the gravity of the moment, even if she couldn't grasp its full significance. "Why not?" Olivia's voice trembled as she finally whispered. "Why would he sacrifice so much for those he doesn't even know?" James's professional facade cracked, revealing a hint of vulnerability. "Ms. Thompson, my client possesses wealth beyond imagination, enough to last 10 lifetimes. What he misses, what so many rich souls miss, are true human bonds." His eyes met Sophia's, a soft smile breaking through the tension. "Your daughter saw him as a person, not just a challenge or a chance. It's more uncommon than you realize." Olivia stared at the unopened envelope in her hands, heart racing. "Mr. Reynolds wants to meet with you both," James said, rising to his feet. "Tomorrow night, if it can be done. He can clarify his intentions more deeply then." He paused at the door, glancing back for one last, piercing remark. Mr. Reynolds often shares a poignant saying, "In solitude, the essence of a person emerges." Miss Thompson, your daughter displayed remarkable strength. My client seeks to pay tribute to that. Once James left, Olivia and Sophia lingered in shocked silence at the kitchen table, the envelope resting between them like a fragile relic, threatening to vanish at the slightest touch. "Mother?" Sophia finally spoke, her voice barely a whisper. "Is something wrong?" Olivia's fingers wrapped tightly around her daughter's hand, a silent promise in the air. "Absolutely not, my love. Something extraordinary is unfolding. I'm still grappling with it." The following day, everything felt surreal without Olivia. She navigated her morning shift at City General, her thoughts adrift, meticulously reviewing medications and patient charts, haunted by the fear that a moment's distraction could lead to disaster. The envelope from James Harrington lay untouched in her purse. She hesitated, afraid that peering inside would shatter the fragile magic surrounding it. Sophia went to school, her mind racing with a whirlwind of questions from that morning. Is the blue-eyed man truly wealthy? What drives his desire to assist us? Must we leave everything behind? By evening, Olivia gathered her courage and tore open the envelope. Inside lay documents that could change everything. A proposal for Sophia's educational trust, the job offer details, and a formal dinner invitation at Edward Reynolds' home. The numbers spun in her mind, a dizzying sum beyond her wildest dreams. At 7 p.m. sharp, a sleek black car glided to a stop outside their apartment. The driver, polite and attentive, opened doors and responded to Sophia's eager questions about the car's features during the tense 20-minute ride to the affluent side of town. "Mom, look." Sophia's breath fogged the glass as they glided through the ornate gates, ascending the twisting driveway. It stands like a fortress. The O. Reynolds estate stretched endlessly. The main house, a breathtaking blend of glass and stone. Gardens sprawled endlessly, bathed in soft, enchanting light. It was everything. A declaration of dominance and riches. "Remember your manners," Olivia whispered, her hands trembling as she smoothed Sophia's best dress, frayed at the cuffs but still beautiful. At the door, Olivia found not staff, but Edward Reynolds himself waiting. Stripped of ragged clothes and an unkempt beard, he stood tall and distinguished, silver threading through his dark hair, an image of striking elegance. Yet his blue eyes held the same haunting depth Sophia had always known. "It's you," Sophia gasped, her eyes blazing with realization. Edward's formal facade shattered as a true smile ignited his face. He knelt before Sophia, locking eyes with her, a silent storm brewing between them. "It's really me. Your memory means everything. You look cleaner now," Sophia remarked, her innocent gaze piercing through the air. James Harrington, just a breath away, fought back a laugh. "Sophia," Olivia whispered softly. But Edward's laughter erupted, deep and unexpected, echoing with warmth. He nodded, rising to offer his hand to Olivia. "Ms. Thompson, your presence is appreciated. This situation is anything but ordinary." Olivia gripped his hand, a fierce determination in her eyes. "Mr. Reynolds, I value your willingness to assist us, but I must ask plainly, what do you seek in exchange? In my experience, nothing comes without a cost." Edward's gaze deepened, lost in contemplation. "A valid inquiry. Can we talk about this at dinner? My chef has crafted a masterpiece." He guided them into the mansion, revealing an unexpectedly cozy dining room, where a table awaited, set for 3. This room, unlike the grand spaces before, embraced them with warmth, inviting chairs and soft lighting that wrapped around like a hug. "I had him prepare macaroni and cheese," Edward whispered to Sophia, gripping the chairs tightly for his guests. "James said it's your favorite." As the first course arrived, Edward's gaze locked onto Olivia. "Ms. Thompson, my desire is straightforward, yet it may elude comprehension." He stopped, breath caught. "Your daughter's kindness moved me deeply, reflecting the values you've nurtured in her." During dinner, Edward recounted his childhood. A struggle marked by poverty, and a single mother juggling countless jobs. His journey to riches was fraught with struggle and surprise, ignited by a groundbreaking software he crafted in a community college lab. As he sliced his food into perfect pieces, he revealed, "I made a promise when my first company went public. I would channel my resources to uplift those enduring the same battles." Sophia's eyes widened, captivated by the man who had lived as both a beggar and a king. Olivia stayed vigilant, her sharp nurse's instincts probing for concealed intentions. "Mr. Reynolds," she paused, "your offer is astonishingly generous, but I must know why us. Countless families fight for survival. Countless children shine with kindness." Edward paused, fork hovering, lost in thought over her question. "Your daughter's action hit me hard. It was raw and genuine. With so little to her name, she offered everything." His blue eyes turned vacant. "Can you grasp the rarity of that? True charity emerges from sacrifice, offering what we hold dear." Sophia offered herself when offering meant loss. Olivia's expression flickered, a hint of softness battling the shadows of doubt. "What about the job offer for me? Is there an educational trust for Sophia?" "That feels like too much for a sandwich." "It's never just the sandwich," Edward whispered. "It's about seeing the value in a character worth believing in." He leaned in, anticipation crackling in the air. "Miss Thompson, I possess wealth beyond imagination, enough to last through countless lifetimes. Meaning eludes me. Your daughter showed me the essence of life." From the shadows, James emerged, clutching a folder, his presence heavy with unspoken tension. Maybe the details would bring comfort to Ms. Thompson. Edward's head dipped in silent agreement. The trust would ensure Sophia's education, from school all the way to college, wherever her potential takes her. The nursing coordinator role promises a $175,000 salary each year, alongside reasonable hours and comprehensive benefits. Olivia's coffee cup crashed against its saucer. That amount was almost 4 times what she earned now. "The position is real," Edward pressed on. "The Reynolds Medical Foundation drives vital healthcare initiatives in 12 hospitals. We seek a skilled nurse to lead our programs with hands-on expertise." "It sounds amazing," Olivia confessed, "yet terrifying. Our life is uncomplicated, yet it belongs to us. I fear for what these overwhelming changes could mean for Sophia, for us both." Edward nodded, lost in deep contemplation. "That's a profound worry. Maybe you desire moments to reflect. No time limit looms." Sophia, who had been silently absorbing everything, suddenly broke her silence. "Mr. Reynolds, is there anyone waiting for you at home?" The question lingered, heavy and charged. Edward's expression changed, a flicker of something deep within, a flash of agony swiftly concealed. "Sophia," Olivia whispered, her voice laced with concern. "It's intimate. No, it's a fair question," Edward said, his voice barely above a whisper. "I once wore a ring of promises. We welcomed a daughter." He halted, gathering his thoughts. "Years have passed since I lost them both." Realization flickered in Olivia's gaze. "Sophia brings her back to life in your mind." Edward locked eyes with her, a storm brewing beneath the surface. "Your concern truly honors you, Miss Thompson. My family is irreplaceable. I want to celebrate my daughter's spirit by bringing hope to another child in need." As they stood on the brink of departure, Olivia's heart wore. It was a chance to change everything, yet fear gripped her heart. Pride clashes with suspicion, while fear of the unknown looms large. As they drove home, Sophia drifted into sleep, her head resting on her mother's shoulder, the thrill of the night still echoing in her dreams. Olivia gazed out at the fleeting city lights, her thoughts a storm within. The driver, attuned to her feelings, held his tongue in reverent quiet. In the quiet of their apartment, after gently tucking Sophia into bed, Olivia flicked open her laptop. The nurse craved clarity, hard proof, something tangible to grasp Edward Reynolds' astonishing proposal. As she typed his name into the search engine, her heart raced. Articles about his business empire flooded the screen, each one pulling her deeper into his world. Patents that could change the world, properties that hold dreams, foundations that spark hope. His wealth was a tale of triumph, his business prowess a force to be reckoned with. Yet Olivia delved deeper, searching for truths hidden beneath the glossy surface of corporate triumphs. A headline from 5 years past seized her attention. "Heartbreak strikes the Reynolds family as a billionaire mourns the loss of his wife and daughter." Her heart raced as she clicked the link. Edward's world shattered when his daughter Emily lost her battle with a rare autoimmune disease at just 6 years old. 6 months later, Caroline ended her life, a note in hand, accusing Edward of being too absorbed in work to see their daughter's signs. "Oh, my God," Olivia gasped, her hand clamped over her mouth. The pieces clicked into place, sharp and agonizing. Emily Reynolds should be here, just like Sophia, living her life. Every moment, every gesture. Edward's heartache clashed with Sophia's compassion, revealing a soul lost in sorrow, seeking redemption or facing the threat of being replaced. Olivia shut her laptop, a wave of nausea crashing over her. Is this all there is? What's the story? Did Edward view Sophia as a replacement for the child he lost? It sent a shiver down her spine. The following morning, she called in sick for the first time in years, then embraced Sophia tightly at school, vowing to return early. She headed to James Harrington's office, downtown. The receptionist hesitated, but Olivia's fierce resolve compelled her to reach out to James without delay. Moments later, she stepped into his refined corner office. I never saw it coming. Emily Reynolds, Olivia interrupted, her voice strained. Isn't that what this is all about? James's calm facade cracked for an instant. He pointed to a chair, an unspoken invitation hanging in the air. Take a seat. I don't want to sit down, Olivia said. But weariness overwhelmed her, and she sank into the chair. I crave. The truth cuts deep. Is Edward attempting to swap his daughter for mine? James let out a heavy sigh, his fingers instinctively adjusting his tie. It's more complicated than that, Miss Thompson. Explain it to me, she insisted, her voice trembling with urgency. From where I stand, a grieving billionaire is ready to transform our lives, all because my daughter showed him kindness. My daughter, the same age as his would have been. James conceded the truth in silence. Edward was shattered by Emily's death. His wife's suicide shattered the last fragments of his existence. He leaned in, the mask slipping just enough to reveal the truth beneath. I've known Edward for 15 years. He's not seeking to fill Emily's void. He seeks to keep her spirit alive by aiding a child who echoes her essence. Olivia shook her head, doubt etched on her face. James spoke softly, revealing that he had never witnessed him cry until your daughter handed him that sandwich. Olivia exited James Harrington's office, her mind racing with unanswered questions. Her thoughts remained in turmoil. She wandered through the streets, seeking solace in a hidden cafe, desperate to collect her scattered thoughts. As the coffee cooled, Olivia's gaze sank deeper, battling her instincts in silence. As a nurse, she had an instinct for the hidden truths behind her patients' words. Edward's story lingered, a haunting echo of what could have been. James believed in his employer's sincerity, but then her phone buzzed with a text from Edward. Your hesitation is palpable. Can you meet me at the Children's Memorial Garden at 2 p.m.? Only you. I have something to reveal to you. The Children's Memorial Garden stood as a serene refuge amidst the city's chaos, a haven for families mourning their precious children. Olivia stepped in at 2, her gaze locking onto Edward, solitary on a bench by the whispering fountain. The powerful businessman from last night had vanished, a man burdened by sorrow, his shoulders bowed low. Thank you for coming, he murmured, eyes fixed on the small photograph in his hands as she drew near. He extended it to her, a beaming little girl with his piercing blue eyes. Emily, Olivia whispered, her eyes filled with understanding. Edward's nod was heavy with unspoken weight. Next month, she would have turned 8. His voice held firm, yet each word dripped with anguish. She succumbed to Batten disease. It's a rare decline. When the right diagnosis finally arrived, it was already too late for any hope of healing. Olivia's medical insight revealed the harsh truth, a cruel neurological disorder striking children. In Tokyo, her symptoms took a turn for the worse. Edward pressed on, sealing a deal that felt vital, even as the weight of it all bore down on him. Carolyn's calls pierced the silence, but I couldn't bring myself to go back. His grip tightened on the photo frame, knuckles pale and trembling. I sacrificed them for riches, and now I'm left with nothing but regret. Mr. Reynolds, he urged softly. Just call me Edward. Edward, Olivia said. Your loss is beyond comprehension, but I must know. Do you see Sophia as a stand-in for Emily? He locked eyes with her, clarity piercing through the sorrow. No, Sophia is her own person, with a life that belongs solely to her. As she stepped closer at the bus stop, extending the only food she possessed, he hesitated, gathering his thoughts. It echoed the pulse of Emily's heart. My daughter would have acted just like that. He swept his hand across the garden, a silent plea in his eyes. In their absence, I founded the Reynolds Children's Foundation. We fuel medical breakthroughs, uplift families in crisis, and open doors to education. I honor Emily by reaching out to the children who remain. Olivia glimpsed raw anguish in his eyes, yet beneath it lay a fierce resolve, an unyielding drive. I won't be Sophia's father, Edward declared, his voice resolute. I want to secure a radiant future for a child whose extraordinary compassion shines in a world that craves it. For the first time since James Harrington had knocked on her door, Olivia sensed the tight knot of suspicion in her chest start to unravel. Olivia worked her shifts at the hospital, but her thoughts often spiraled back to Edward's offer and their intense conversation at the memorial garden. Sophia felt the shift in the air, her questions dwindling as she watched her mother with intense curiosity. Saturday afternoon, they sat in their cramped living room, engulfed by paper and colored pencils. Sophia sketched Edward's mansion, her imagination igniting with secret passages and rooms alive with butterflies, each stroke a whisper of wonder. "Mom," she whispered, her fingers trembling as she chose a blue pencil. "Will we ever see Mr. Reynolds again?" Olivia glanced up from the budget, a ritual she couldn't shake, even with Edward's tempting offer lingering in the silence. "Do you want to?" Sophia nodded, her pencil gliding with fierce determination. His eyes carried a heavy sorrow, but beautifully heartbreaking, not terrifyingly so. Olivia's heart swelled at her daughter's keen insight. Beautifully heartbreaking. Sophia explained, "Much like Ms. Chen at the library. Her sorrow lingers from her husband's death, yet she still offers me warmth with hot chocolate on occasion." Olivia placed her calculator aside and sank to the floor beside her daughter. "Sophia, I have to ask you something crucial. What would it mean for you if everything shifted in our lives? Major aspects like your school or our home?" Sophia pondered, the question weighing heavily, a seriousness that often took Olivia by surprise, her small philosopher with braids and gaps in her smile. "Are we meant to last?" she inquired. "Are we meant to last?" she inquired.
"Always," Olivia replied without hesitation.
"Would I ever see my friends again? We can make that happen." Sophia painted her mansion's windows a vivid yellow. "Would you keep pushing through even when exhaustion weighs you down?" Olivia felt the question stab deep into her heart. Sophia saw the weariness she tried to hide. "No, darling. I could find a job with more favorable hours. I would be there more often." Sophia nodded. Her resolve solidified in that moment. "I believe that could be great." Her gaze met her mother's. "Will Mr. Reynolds come to our aid?" "He made the offer," Olivia confessed. "Yet, it looms large. Everything would shift dramatically." "Is it because of my sandwich?" Sophia inquired, her brow knitting in concern. Amidst the chaos, Olivia's smile flickered. "Your sandwich was merely the start. Mr. Reynolds recognized your extraordinary potential, your compassion, your pure soul. Those things are precious and hard to find, Sophia. Priceless beyond wealth." Sophia inquired, her eyes wide with curiosity. Olivia affirmed its greater worth. "This decision weighs heavily on my heart. I want you to seize every chance, yet hold tight to the values that define your uniqueness." As darkness fell, and Sophia drifted into dreams, Olivia picked up the phone and dialed James Harrington. She longed to see Edward once more. "I do. Let's talk about the conditions." 2 days later, Olivia faced Edward in his office at Reynolds Tower. The city lay beneath them, a shimmering tapestry of lights and shadows. James sat in silence, legal pad poised, anticipation thick in the air. "Thank you for meeting me," Olivia said, her hands gripping her lap. "Your offer has been on my mind. I'm ready to embrace it, but only on my terms." Edward nodded, relief flickering across his face. "I'm all ears. Sophia's education unfolds. I need her at Westbrook Academy." Olivia chose a prestigious private school, celebrated for its focus on community service and moral growth. Academically superb, yet it dives deep into character and empathy. "Absolutely," Edward replied, his voice steady. "The job awaits. I'll take the role, but I intend to prove myself worthy. I'll begin as a nurse coordinator, rising through the ranks on my own merit." Edward's eyebrows shot up, a flicker of surprise igniting in his gaze. A smaller starting salary awaits. Olivia nodded, her voice steady. It matters deeply to me, and to Sophia, that we understand positions must be earned, never handed out. Edward nodded. A silent pact formed. Respect radiated from his voice. Is there more? Olivia inhaled sharply. Yes. The crucial condition will stay in our apartment for now. Her gaze locked onto his. She pressed on, unyielding. I desire a slow, careful shift for Sophia. A new school brings enough upheaval to handle. Our apartment may be tiny, but it holds our hearts. Perhaps in a year, once she's settled, we might think about moving. Edward gazed at her, deep in contemplation. Olivia Thompson, you are nothing like I imagined. Is that an issue? Yet, a faint smile crossed his lips. It's invigorating. Everyone would have rushed to inquire about housing improvements. I'm not like everyone else, Olivia said, her voice steady. I refuse to let Sophia become just another face in the crowd. Edward reclined in his chair, a newfound admiration flickering in his gaze. I'm starting to see the roots of Sophia's character. All your conditions are acceptable. James will prepare the documents. He hesitated. I have one request in exchange. Olivia's body tightened, a flicker of unease coursing through her. What is it? I want to create a scholarship in Sophia's name at Westbrook for children facing challenges like hers. She would be free, unburdened. It would truly pay tribute to her remarkable spirit of generosity. Olivia paused, her gaze intense, then nodded with resolve. That works for me. One thing must be crystal clear, Edward. Her voice sharpened with fierce protectiveness. Sophia is my everything. Be clear and fitting in her life. Nothing hidden, no attempts to fill the void. I promise, Edward declared, his voice heavy with conviction. Let's begin with some dinners, maybe twice a month. You will always be here, and together we can build a healthy connection at a pace that feels right for all. As the meeting ended, Olivia sensed a burden finally releasing its grip on her. For the first time in years, she dared to envision a future free from the grip of relentless financial dread, a future where Sophia breaks free, chasing her dreams unbound. Hope blossomed, but a whisper of doubt lingered. Edward Reynolds burst into their lives, a fairy tale figure, bringing answers to problems that had long felt like a part of their very existence. Can such a profound shift occur without unseen sacrifices? Changes arrived the next month, unfolding with an unexpected ease. Sophia stepped into Westbrook Academy, heart racing, the weight of being the new girl heavy on her shoulders. Her warmth and authenticity drew friends in an instant. Mrs. Blackwell saw the spark in Sophia and nurtured it, pairing her with a new student lost in the chaos of change. Olivia stepped into her role at the Reynolds Medical Foundation, directly under the chief nursing officer, ready to face the challenges ahead. She kept her promise, beginning in a role that matched her experience instead of reaching for a higher title. Her colleagues, once suspicious of her bond with Edward Reynolds, quickly saw her skill and commitment shine through. Their first dinner with Edward unfolded at a cozy family restaurant, a choice that instantly soothed Sophia's nerves. Initially guarded, Olivia felt her defenses crumble as Edward spoke fervently about healthcare initiatives, his questions piercing through her heart, revealing a shared passion for her work as a frontline nurse. Over dessert, Edward revealed the foundation's plan to launch mobile clinics for those in need. I'd appreciate your thoughts on the crucial equipment and staff we need. Olivia, taken aback by the request, shared her hard-earned wisdom with urgency and clarity. Trust is everything. Judgment and unwelcoming vibes keep people from seeking care. Edward absorbed every word, his fingers dancing over his phone as he captured fleeting thoughts. Sophia seized his dessert plate, crafting an ice cream mountain that left Edward in awe of her skill. Sophia gazed upward, her heart swelling with pride. Mrs. Blackwell claims I possess spatial intelligence. We're discovering the many shades of intelligence. Indeed, you do, Edward replied, a weight in his voice. It wasn't the kind of intelligence that dealt with melted ice cream, he quipped, a wink accompanying the drip that fell onto the tablecloth. They laughed, and a tension crackled in the air. A fragile warmth blossomed in their unexpected bond. Weeks slipped by, as Olivia watched Edward intently, searching for any hint that he saw Sophia as a stand-in for Emily. Instead, she glimpsed the unexpected. He regarded Sophia with true interest and respect, never imposing expectations or forcing bonds. He inquired about her school projects, recalled fleeting details, and once surprised her with a set of professional colored pencils, recognizing her love for drawing. One evening, 2 months after everything shifted, Olivia discovered Sophia on her bed, lost in her cherished box of memories. "Is everything all right, my love?" Olivia leaned in, her voice barely a whisper. Sophia nodded, clutching a crumpled drawing of their old apartment building, memories flooding back. "Sometimes I ache for Miss Chen and Tommy from my past." Olivia wrapped her arm around her, a silent promise in the embrace. "We can go see them whenever you want. Change doesn't erase the past. It shapes our journey forward." Sophia paused, then revealed a worn photograph of Olivia cradling her as a baby. "Mom, do you believe Dad would find joy in our new life?" Olivia was taken aback by the question. They seldom mentioned Sophia's father, who vanished before she could even remember him. Olivia paused, weighing her words. "Anyone who truly cared would rejoice in your success." "Will Mr. Reynolds be my new dad?" Sophia inquired boldly, her gaze unwavering. "No, sweetheart," Olivia replied with conviction. "Edward is a friend here to help, but he won't play the role of your father. You get that, don't you?" Sophia's head dipped in agreement. "I believe that too. He feels distant, like he's not ready to be my dad. He behaves as if she hunted for the perfect words. A true companion, always present and attentive." Olivia felt a wave of relief wash over her. Sophia, with her keen insight, grasped the limits of their new relationship more acutely than Olivia had dreaded. As darkness enveloped the city, Olivia perched on the balcony, her heart heavy, lost in the glow of distant lights, while Sophia slept peacefully inside. After years of doubt, she dared to hope that maybe, just maybe, fairy tales could unfold in their messy, beautiful reality. Unbeknownst to her, their journey was just starting, and the greatest test of their fragile peace was looming on the horizon. 3 months into Sophia's journey at Westbrook Academy, spring erupted in vibrant hues, igniting hope and possibility. The Thompson women embraced their new routines, each step fueled by a fierce determination. Olivia flourished at the Reynolds Medical Foundation, her hands-on experience and heartfelt care winning her colleagues' admiration, and a well-deserved promotion to senior coordinator. Her innate brilliance, cultivated by devoted mentors and enriched tools. In their small apartment, they finally felt the weight lift. Budgeting allowed for rare indulgences and the comfort of a swelling savings account. Their bi-monthly dinners had transformed into cherished moments they eagerly anticipated. They dined at restaurants, museums, and cultural events, each moment stretching Sophia's horizons further. Edward honored the lines drawn, never crossing into parenthood, yet transforming into the friend Sophia had perfectly captured. A true listener. On a fateful Saturday afternoon, Edward beckoned them to the botanical gardens, where a mesmerizing butterfly exhibit awaited. Sophia dashed forward, captivated by the vibrant insects that briefly graced her outstretched hands. "She's soaring." Edward watched in silence as he and Olivia moved slowly, each step heavy with unspoken words. Olivia nodded, a silent agreement heavy with unspoken weight. Her experience at school has been nothing short of amazing. Her teacher believes she possesses a rare talent for biology. She recalls scientific names with a clarity that outshines kids twice her age. "I'm not shocked at all." Edward's smile flickered, a spark of something deeper lurking beneath. Her ability to notice what others overlook is truly extraordinary. They stopped at a bench, captivated as Sophia focused intently on capturing a blue morpho butterfly with the child-friendly camera Edward gifted her for her birthday. "I have a proposition," Edward said, breaking the heavy silence. "I urge you to think this through deeply." Olivia faced him, curiosity flickering in her guarded gaze. "What sort of offer?" "The Reynolds Foundation is unveiling a bold initiative to create health clinics in neglected communities across the nation. The program requires a director, one with clinical expertise, strong administrative abilities, and above all, a heartfelt compassion." Olivia's eyes filled with shock. "Are you giving me the job? Your supervisor spoke highly of you," Edward revealed. I couldn't help but nod in agreement with her insight. "Olivia, you've truly shown your strength." She took in the news, pride and uncertainty flickering across her face. What would that mean, really? Managing program development, hiring and establishing protocols brings greater responsibility and a substantial salary boost. He paused, heart racing, and a journey awaits. "Travel," Olivia whispered. her eyes fixated on Sophia, who meticulously recorded butterfly species in her notebook. Edward's eyes locked onto hers. That's the heart of the matter. The role demands occasional site visits, possibly a week each month. Olivia's expression deepened with thought, the weight of a single mother's struggle evident in her gaze. It is everything. Sophia has always been by my side, never apart for more than a single school day. There are other paths, Edward whispered, his voice heavy with unspoken weight. Sophia could join you on your travels during school breaks, arranged by the Foundation. When travel clashes with her plans, he hesitates, weighing each word carefully. If it helps, my team can look after her while you're away. Olivia shot him a piercing glance. Edward, I value all you've done for us, but Sophia being at your home without me, that pushes a limit I can't accept. He nodded, certainty in his voice. Just a whisper of an idea. Maybe friends or family could take action. Olivia exhaled deeply. No, not at all. My parents are gone. I stand alone, with no siblings to share the silence. Before I shifted my life for Sophia's school and leaned on neighbors in times of need. Silence enveloped them as they witnessed Sophia's blissful discovery. At last, Olivia found her voice. The position seems ideal in every way. I must unravel the details. Take your time, Edward urged, his voice heavy with unspoken weight. You have time to think it over before the role is filled. That night, as Sophia slept, Olivia sat in silence, a cup of tea in hand, grappling with her choices. It was the perfect match for her talents and heart. It promised a stability and a sense of purpose she had never dared to dream of. The travel component posed a true test. Her thoughts raced when Edward's message lit up her phone. A new idea struck me about the childcare situation. What if we created a scholarship for a live-in graduate student, studying education or child development to stay with Sophia while you travel? You choose the individual, define the limits, and we offer housing and tuition support in return for their assistance. Olivia's eyes widened as the message sank in, a smile breaking through her surprise. Once more, Edward struck a delicate balance, providing support while respecting boundaries. She was slowly learning to trust the pattern that was forming. As summer faded into fall and winter's chill set in, the bond between Olivia and Edward blossomed in unexpected ways. Olivia thrived as director of community health initiatives, her skills shining brightly. Her nursing experience earned her respect from medical staff, while her battles with healthcare costs fueled her work with deep compassion. During Olivia's travels, they discovered Jessica Chen, the niece of their former librarian. A graduate student in child psychology, she formed an instant bond with Sophia. The young woman took the spare room, gaining housing and tuition help, all for the chance to care for Sophia while Olivia was away. After Olivia's first business trip, Sophia excitedly revealed that Ms. Jessica has the most incredible science experiments. We created a volcano that truly erupted. By spring, they settled into a larger apartment near Sophia's school. It wasn't the luxury high-rise Edward envisioned, but a cozy 3-bedroom, with a small garden balcony, where Sophia nurtured her tomatoes and herbs. Edward was a steady figure, sharing dinners every other week, and sometimes witnessing Sophia's performances at school. His bond with Olivia intensified, revealing profound connections hidden beneath their contrasting pasts. He cherished her honesty and sharp insight. She felt the weight of his vision and the fire of his passion for real change. At Westbrook Academy, the Sophia Thompson Scholarship Fund emerged, opening doors for deserving students facing economic hardships, yet shining with remarkable character. 2 recipients had been chosen for the upcoming school year, and Sophia, now part of the welcome committee, felt the weight of her new responsibility. She told her mother, with piercing clarity, that she wanted them to feel special, not like charity cases. The first day was terrifying. In April's twilight, just shy of a year since their paths first crossed, Edward summoned Olivia and Sophia to a secluded dinner, the city park sprawling beneath them. Sophia, now 8, stood taller, radiating confidence, yet her heart still beat with unwavering kindness. I have an idea, Edward said, his voice low and urgent, just as they cleared their plates. The Foundation's work has uncovered a devastating void in children's health care, spotting rare diseases before they strike. Olivia nodded, the weight of the moment sinking in. Is it all because of Emily? Yes, Edward conceded. Had she been diagnosed sooner, hope could have flickered in the darkness. I want to create a dedicated pediatric screening center, targeting rare conditions that frequently remain undetected until it's too late. Sophia, armed with Edward's truth, lifted her gaze from the dessert. For children like your daughter, Edward's smile was soft, yet it held a depth of feeling. I want your mother to assist in shaping the nursing protocols. Olivia's eyes filled with shock. That's a monumental challenge. Indeed, Edward conceded. There's no greater tribute to Emily than to spare others the pain my family endured. He paused, then pressed on. I want to call it the Emily and Sophia Center for Pediatric Diagnosis, if you both agree. Sophia halted, spoon suspended in mid-air. You want to share a building with Emily, and my name, too? Edward's gaze melted as he beheld the little girl, her simple act of kindness reshaping countless lives. You revealed that from deep sorrow, a new purpose can emerge, one that deserves to be honored. 5 years since a desperate man with piercing blue eyes and a little girl clutching a peanut butter sandwich shared a fleeting moment. For 3 years, the Emily and Sophia Center for Pediatric Diagnosis has fought tirelessly, saving countless young lives through swift detection and urgent intervention. On this spring evening, a ceremony unfolded, charged with significance. The O Center revealed a new wing for family support services, offering vital resources, counseling, and temporary housing for families, journeying far for their children's care. 12-year-old Sophia stood at the podium, her voice unwavering as she faced the sea of donors and medical professionals. Now taller, with her mother's fierce chin and deep-set eyes, Sophia still radiated compassion, authenticity, and an uncanny insight. At 7, I handed my lunch to a hungry stranger. I had no idea he was Edward Reynolds. I had no idea he held such power or riches. I witnessed a soul in need, and I had the power to help. She hesitated, her gaze fixed on Edward and her mother, seated together in the front row. That fleeting moment transformed countless lives, not just mine and my mom's, but hundreds of families who discovered hope at this center. Olivia's heart raced as she beheld her daughter, pride illuminating her gaze. As chief nursing officer for the Reynolds Foundation, she forged the center from nothing, crafting protocols that fused medical brilliance with profound empathy. Westbrook Academy's scholarship program now empowers 20 students each year, with Sophia guiding many as a peer mentor. A single act of kindness can ripple out, creating waves we never saw coming. She pointed to the families scattered in the audience, parents whose children had been given a second chance at life through early diagnoses. Each individual here holds the key to ignite that transformation. As applause thundered in the auditorium, Edward wiped away a tear. The center bearing his daughter's name stood as Emily's enduring legacy, while Sophia emerged not as a substitute, but as a haunting reminder. Life's true meaning is found in our generosity, not in our possessions. After the ceremony, Edward, Olivia, and Sophia strolled through the gardens, where a small memorial fountain whispered tranquility amidst their shared grief. Do you ever relive that moment? Sophia confronted Edward. The moment at the bus stop. He nodded, a silent agreement heavy with unspoken weight. His blue eyes held a storm of thoughts. Each day, in our darkest hours, we often find the seeds of our greatest joys. Olivia's smile widened as she grasped her daughter's hand tightly. What crosses my mind? That sandwich changed everything. A simple peanut butter sandwich, yet it transformed countless lives in ways no one could foresee. It was never just about the sandwich, was it? Sophia spoke, her words laced with the profound wisdom that had always defined her. It was about witnessing a plea for help and refusing to turn away. As dusk fell, the three stood together, wrapped in a heavy silence that spoke volumes. 3 lives intertwined, bound not by duty or chance, but by an unbreakable bond of love. One moment of true kindness sparked a surge of compassion, echoing far beyond that pivotal day at the bus stop.